All right, welcome to another episode from the Chart Readers. My goodness, my goodness, I don't have much more to say than that. When you're looking at over 300% on a single day at some point, it was like pushing that 150 for a moment, right? Um, wow, right? Again, I don't know what else to say. The crazy thing really is, look, I'm not gonna lie, I didn't do as well as I probably should have, but I prepped this one. So if you search for Mark today at 10:30, I called it out. I live on the West Coast, all right? So 10:30, 11:20 is 1:30. And I mean, literally at 1:30 is when the thing like does the takeoff. You know what I mean? So I obviously wish I did a lot better. I'm not gonna lie to you, but hey, at least I got to ride a little bit of this, okay? And craziness is it is going up after hours. Look, I you know my videos are more about regular hours than post hours, and that's gonna maintain here. All right, so. I obviously have a plan. That's why I'm able to make these videos in live hours, right? So whatever silliness happens, I'm ready to go to bed and be comfortable, okay? From there, we're going to take a quick look at DWAC and PHUN, and really nothing is happening on those. In some ways, that's a good thing because I was talking about it being a bounce or die, and hey, it hasn't died yet, right? Obviously, it hasn't bounced, but I'll take no die yet, okay? So excited to talk about these three, and before we go any further, what are we going to do? Same thing we always do, right? We'll take a look at the daily and the weekly to see how these things are setting up short term. We have our 5 moving averages. There are horizontal support and resistance lines that I do draw manually myself. And then when we are done up here, we'll use the MACD, RSI, and volume as our lower indicators. Hey, really quickly, if you can please share this video, subscribe to this channel, comment good or bad if you disagree. Look, I'm telling you, anything you can do helps me so much with these YouTube algorithms, especially if you can actually share the video. I don't have the biggest social following. A lot of you have way bigger ones, and if you can share it, it does so well, all right? So, man, this thing is still climbing after hours. Wild, all right? I will peek back into after hours shortly, but again, with every single video, to me, regular hours is what matters most. And you know, it wasn't that long ago we were following Mark, but it was 100% Trump news related. Absolutely nothing to do with what really happened today. So what happened today, all right? And I want to just kind of echo something I ended with. Okay, right here, look. When a small BS stock, and look, for anyone holding Mark, I am not trying to offend you, right? But when a small BS stocks connects to a real powerhouse, Microsoft, for example, you're gonna get something like this, okay? Now, again, did this deserve the 300% run? Did this deserve to end at 260%? I don't necessarily know it deserved it, but buy the rumor, sell the news is gold. All right, there are a few just baseline just phrases. I don't know what to call them, right? And man, this was a buy the rumor moment. So what happened, right? There was a Twitter post where they basically said, hey, they're partnering with Microsoft, they're partnering with Azure, I don't really know how to pronounce that, whatever. They have some AI thing that it's going to incorporate. There was, I think, a $6 or $8 billion investment. Like, there were a lot of big headlines, right? And again, to me, the biggest headline was, hey, I'm a random company named Remark, and I'm going to be connected to a major top 5 in the world company like Microsoft, right? Like, one more time, I can't echo this enough. When a small BS company connects to a real powerhouse like Microsoft, this is what happens, all right? So, huge, right? Another thing that I think it was Don C that said, yeah, right here. So Microsoft is having their earnings probably as I speak right now, right? I don't know if they're going to mention Remark or not. I mean, if they do, that would be huge, right? But it to me, is still buy the rumor, sell the news, right? Like that's what I do think is happening. So let's talk a little bit about tomorrow. First, I think let's talk about how we got up this high, all right? So again, let me go back to, this is not a brag, right? I am not here to brag stuff. But again, I live on the West Coast, so 1:30 would be 10:30 my time, right? And it was around 10:30 where I saw Mark going wild, all right? And what happened? Look, let's just use this price right here, right? It was 48 cents. Let's go to the daily. For me, once it looked like we were breaking out of this cluster of moving averages, there was nothing else for me to believe except we were going to 75. Break the 8, go to the 20. Break the 20, go to the 50. Break the 50, go to the 100. Break the 8, 20, the 50, and the 100. The next place you're going is the 200, right? Again, nothing's guaranteed. There have been so many times when these technicals have lost me money, right? But yeah, that is what textbook TA looks like, right? From there, like I said, things went beyond my expectations. I'll be honest with you. Unfortunately, I got rid of a good amount before we even got into the 120s, let alone the 130s and the 140. 149, I think I'm seeing was the high of the day today, right? Like, again, am I sad I didn't catch it all the way to the top? No, right? Like, no. I am as greedy as it gets, all right? And I'm telling you, I'm okay with it, all right? Now, look, I think you can tell if by me saying I've sold a good amount, I am kind of expecting this thing to come down, all right? Now, look, we were bragging about how high it was going post-market. It is now coming back down post-market, right? And again, this is why I always stress, to me, this is the one that matters. This one's not moving. This candle is done. This is what we can assess, all right? And I mean, again, we were below all 5 moving averages for a good while, right? These 2 pumps were Donald Trump pumps. They had nothing to do with like what the company does, their AI software, this and like. I thought this was an a Trump play until the news broke, all right? The real interesting thing is this RSI. Okay, look, if you watch my videos, I always say, like, this isn't something I'm making up, right? The RSI basically goes as low as 30, as high as 80, as low as 30, as high, like that's the back and forth you should see. So whenever I'm looking at the RSI, to me, I'm ready for this thing to go to 80 pretty organically, right? And there's actually still a little bit of room for it to go up, all right? That said, this is a little too much, I think. Now, look, I'm telling you, and you can already see the next line up I got is 202. I think I got to make one more line. Is it that? I think it's that. No, I think that might be a little too, maybe that's not bad. I'll use that line. Okay, I'll put 154 as the next one, but again, it seems like 202 is the better line because, again, red, green, red. It could be a nice little green push, right? Also, just as I'm looking at recent movements, RSI got to a 7. Oh, interesting. That's not as high as I thought. It only got to a 78. What was this more recent peak? 74. Interesting. So the RSI doesn't get... Oh, man, I'm zooming back a lot. This seems like the only moment of a high RSI, an 88 reading, and this was back in October of 2021. So, what's this one? Is this a high one? This is an 81 as well. Yeah, there's very little 80s. That's a little surprising. Keep that in mind. Keep that in mind with the RSI. The last thing, and I mean just the ease. Let's just go to the weekly. I think it'll... Jesus. Okay, look. These 2 days of... Today's Tuesday, right? Today's Tuesday, right? Yeah, damn, I had to answer that for myself. These 2 days of trading were bigger than any full week of trading for Mark. That's incredible. All right, volume's king, and when you're going to destroy full weeks of trading, essentially on a single day, right? Like, I'm sorry to zoom in and out so much. As I'm looking at this thing, the single biggest volume week was 60 million shares. Today alone, we pushed 100, almost 200, right? So, really interesting thing. So look, what am I looking for at this point? I'll be honest with you. I think I'm looking for 92 cents. I think this makes a little bit of sense to me as far as where it's going to come back down. It also wouldn't surprise me if we got as low as 77 cents, because look at this 200 moving average. Look at this thing, all right? We have never touched it since November 21. You can see we are completely nowhere near it, right? So you can't just assume that the 200 broke. The thing really is, this was big news. This was big news connected to a big stock, and if Microsoft confirms it, if Microsoft adds anything to it, oh man, this thing should keep going, all right? I wouldn't be surprised if we came down to, like I said, 92 or maybe even the 77. Come down a little bit, let's reset a couple things, and then maybe take off. But I don't think this is done. And I think just the slightest inkling of, oh man, that rumor could be something. I'm telling you, when a stock connects to a powerhouse, crazy things happen. All right, where's the weekly at? Look, I mean, we basically ran all the way to the 50. Where's the 50 sitting at? 84 cents. I think 84 cents might be a good place to catch this. I think that's a good, oops, not, sorry, go to the daily, not Discord. I think that's a good place in between my 77 and 92. So I think 84 is a good line to pull from the weekly. Mark, crazy day. And I think the fact that it's, I mean, I'm done with this section, right? I think the fact that it's holding after hours, obviously it went down a little bit, right? But when you go 200 something percent, you either fall like 50, 40, 30%, or you kind of hold or keep going. So I mean, I'm shocked. 15 minutes into after hours, this thing isn't tanking. That's huge, all right? Let me know your thoughts. Let me know your opinions, even if you disagree, all right? Let's get into fun. Hey, really quickly, if you can please subscribe, please share the video. It does wonders for these YouTube algorithms, all right? So, I don't have too many new updates here, all right? The last video I made was over the weekend, and the real big thing I was talking about, let's pull the calendar up, all right? The next, let's take it right here. The next Republican caucus is on the 8th in Nevada, all right? My sincere opinion was this was going to be a boring week. There were not going to be a lot of headlines this week. There were not going to be a lot of Trump-related rah-rah to you know, put the cart behind the horse, right? Like, this thing moves when the Trump horse starts taking off, right? And I expected this to be a calm week. You know what I mean? I believe as we get closer to the 8th, let's pull it back up, right? This is Thursday. This is late next week, right? I think Monday, Tuesday is where the news is going to start picking up. That's where the, oh, I think Trump is going to smash. I think Trump is going to destroy Nikki, all those kind of like rumblings. And again, kind of going back to what we said with Mark, buy the rumor, sell the news. The rumor will be Trump's going to do really well. The rumor is going to be Trump doing well is going to do good for these. The rumor hopefully will be what people buy, and then we'll see what happens afterwards, all right? The really important thing to remember is, look, the first caucus, this thing took off, and it was amazing, right? The second one didn't do that good. All right, so to me, I'm still a little questioning what's going to happen with this third one. And that's why I'm leaning a little more on buy the rumor, sell the news. I think the hype going into it will be better than the day of and the aftermath afterwards. Again, I could be very much wrong, right? Let me know if you disagree, but I'm never a fan of assuming. I think that's the scariest thing you can do with your hard-earned money in a very unpredictable market, all right? So, I talked a little bit about the VP nomination. I do think that's going to bring some news and headlines, but again, that could be any day, and I'm not here hoping and praying that some news comes, all right? Technically speaking, today's an interesting day, all right? Because I talked about over the weekend seeing a potential bounce or die moment, all right? What did that mean? I thought we would either bounce up from this 8 and basically 200, or we would lose both lines and basically fall as low as maybe 21 cents, right? You can see we almost wicked that 25. Look at that. Actually, the low of the day did hit 25. So one part assumption was correct, but again, you know it. I care more about the close. I don't care if we wick down there. I care about the close, right? So I'm still thinking the same thing. Look, Doji never counts, all right? Day after the Doji is honestly a little telling as well. So I think tomorrow either takes us down to 21 or takes us up to 34. I find it a little hard to believe anything else happens tomorrow unless we get one more Doji, all right? To me, we need Trump news. We have significantly lost a lot of volume. We are still 110 million shares on a single day. Crazy, crazy, crazy numbers, but we actually need more. We need almost 5x more for this thing to keep going up, right? So don't assume. That's the scariest thing you can do with your money. Hopefully the anticipation coming into the Nevada caucus on the 8th is what carries us, all right? Let me know your thoughts. Let me know your opinions. I'm not going to cover the weekly because, again, this is a day-to-day thing, and you know, we'll see where the news takes us, all right? DWAC, I am probably going to lump this on the same chapter as PHUN. But listen, over the weekend, I made a video that basically said, look, we are sitting right here. This was Friday's candle right here. We are right on the 8 moving average. My assumption was we got a little too far up. We got to come back down to it. And either we bounce up and keep going or we fall down and die, right? Bounce or die is what that meant. And I'm surprised we didn't drop, all right? Because again, Monday, it wasn't much, but we do fall below it. And Monday put us in a place where green, 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 green could have turned to a scary red, red, red that fell all the way to 27, you know? But hey, today did well. Today wasn't good enough to get us over the 8 moving average though. So I am not convinced here until I think over 40 might be a little much. Let's call it 39.30. I'll even set an alert for that. I think 39.30 would be a lovely spot on DWAC. Maybe a little more. Maybe it doesn't hurt to go up just a little bit higher. But yeah, make me believe that we've taken over the 8 moving average and we want to go back up. But I am glad we haven't died. I just wish we bounced up more. Again, just echoing the thoughts in case you skipped PHUN. Look, the next caucus is on the 8th. My assumption was this was going to be a boring week of no headlines. As we get closer, I think the anticipation to the 8th is what's going to help us. And remember, first caucus he wins, it blows up. Second caucus he wins, and it does not blow up. I think this was the first one, this was the second one. Yeah, he does well, it keeps running. He does well, it doesn't, right? So just don't assume. It never. That's the worst thing you can do with your hard-earned money, all right? So let me know your thoughts. Let me know your opinions. My goodness, I appreciate you all so, so much.